Hello everyone, welcome back. It's mid-March 2021 and today's video is about training fruit trees. Today's project is some of these apple trees that we have, but you could do this with any kind of fruit tree or really any kind of bush. So we're going to show you how we use these lath pieces to do this, so I'll walk you through the steps. But what you're looking for when you do this is you kind of want these 45s, 45 from the trunk. And it doesn't have to be perfect, but you just don't want upright growth. So this is going to give you sort of a fat, shorter tree, which is what you want, unless you want to get on ladders to pick fruit. So this is something that will save you a lot of time as well, because if you prune all these branches off, you have to wait for new ones to grow. So this is a way to make use of the structure that the tree has. So I've pruned it off here, shorter, bent it in, and put the spacer in. So we'll show how to do that. One thing I forgot to mention, so I thought I would film it now. We've already started working on this tree. But what you want to do is sort of figure out the bend you want and then measure with your tape measure to get your length. So that one's like 14 will do the job there. So that's how you know how long to make them. So for materials, I purchased a bundle of lath. This entire bundle, these are like 50 inches long. The whole bundle was about $15 at the hardware store, and this lath is really good, flexible, pretty tough stuff, and it doesn't look bad in the trees because it's wood colored. When the trees leaf out, it's less noticeable. So as I just showed you a second ago, I measured, so I just cut a whole bunch of pieces for our tree, cut them on my chop saw, and now what we're going to do is we're just going to notch them. So basically what I want to do is I want to make notches in them with my jigsaw, and then we just put them in the tree. It's that simple. Okay, so here's the tree that we're going to train, this Pitmaston pineapple. You can see how it looks just sort of that typical forked look. All the branches are growing upright, and what we want to do is we want to move these down to a more favorable angle so that we get kind of a fatter, shorter tree, and those lateral branches will get fruit on them much faster. So this is how we do it. Basically, we're going to take these, and this is the before, so you can get a sense of what the tree looks like before we do this. And we're just going to install these, so I'll move in closer, and we'll start. So all you're going to do, take one of your pieces, put it on the branch that you want to bend. So I bend it, don't bend it too far, because if you bend it too far, it's going to break. You don't want to put a ton of pressure on it. Just sort of set it in there like that. And so that branch is a much more favorable angle now. And we'll continue. And these actually stay in pretty well. You'd be surprised. It may look like they're just kind of sitting in there and the first wind they'll blow out, but see this sort of locking action, because what happens is this branch wants to spring back up. So this branch is actually pushing on this, which is pushing on this, so it's wedged in there by the tree. So it really, look, it's not coming out of there. And so it would take quite a bit, and if it does come out, you just stick it back in, no big deal. But the tree is helping it hold it in place. So those are those two branches. Here's one. Now this one doesn't need such a radical bend, so we might use a shorter one. This is where having the shorter ones comes in handy, like that. Take a look at this guy here. This is sort of a straight up and down branch. So we're going to come in and see, this is where that comes in handy. Here's our next one. This will come around to the side here. This next upright branch, you see, and sometimes you have to, that's why I like to make some small, some big. It kind of depends on where on the tree you're locking it. That one doesn't feel like it's on there very well. We'll use a shorter one. We'll just come in, do that. Now it was one straight up and down, has a nice angle. Okay. That branch there is growing at a good angle already. And so we really only have a couple more near the top. So here's a good example of kind of having a fat one for the trunk and a thin one for the branch. That way it slides right into the trunk. You see, you can bump it, it's not going to come out of there. I just bumped into the tree. This didn't even move in any appreciable way. And then finally, we have this one. So we'll come in. Let's make sure we get that. And I like to put the fat end on the trunk so it hugs it. There we go. And so let's take a look now at what this tree looks like. You saw the before. Here's the after it's been shaped. And you have to remember that, you know, as the tree grows and develops and gets fruit, it sort of naturally does this, because when you get fruit out here, that's going to bend the branch down. So nature kind of also will help with this. And you also have to remember you don't want to push the branch too radically, or you're going to snap it off right here and tear bark off the trunk. So you don't want to do that either. But that's a nice shape, I think. Much better, much improved. And you only have to leave these in for about a year. At the end of the growing season, what's nice about doing this before the tree wakes up, when the tree wakes up and starts to grow, it'll add those outer layers of bark on and sort of stiffen up in this position. And then in the fall, you can just take these out and you don't have to put them in again. You'll just have to use them for new branches, but the existing framework will be there. So thank you for watching. This is a Court Pen Du Plat in our front yard. Same kind of principle. They kind of grow straight up until you spread them out, but then you make use of the existing framework rather than pruning it off. So if you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. And if you enjoy our content, please subscribe for more videos.